everyone, welcome back to the horror review. We're going to take a look at a film that came out in 2019 called Sea Fever. So it's a mystery thriller and horror film. So let's take a quick look at the synopsis. Solitary marine biology student Siobhan endures a week on a ragged fishing trawler, miserably at odds with all the close-knit crew. But out in the deep Atlantic, an unfathomable life form soon ensnares the boat. As members of the crew now succumb to a strange infection, Siobhan must overcome her alienation and win their trust before everyone is lost. Sounds good, doesn't it? It wasn't actually a bad film. It was really engrossing. I watched it all the way to the end. Parts of it I found were a little slow, maybe a little boring, but the story itself does hold you. Now, if the story, when you're watching it, feels at all familiar, you're not alone. For me, it felt a lot like watching The Thing. It's definitely not an exact rip-off of The Thing, but it's definitely got that sort of feel to it. Derpy didn't like it because she doesn't like the ocean. So that's why she's getting upset. But it was a really well done film. It was very intriguing, very interesting, and like I said, it was quite engrossing. The story sucked you in. You wanted to know what was going to happen, which is always good with a film. Now, it was directed by Neasa Hardiman, who also directed some of Jessica Jones' Inhumans and a couple of episodes of Holby City. It stars, the cast in it are definitely people that I would say you've probably seen. So first of all, we've got Hermione Caulfield. Now, she's from Slaughterhouse Rules, which if you haven't seen it, it's quite funny. I quite enjoyed that. It was hilarious. She's also from Fallen and Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, which I'm going to review for you at some point because I do love that film. It's also got Jack Hickey in it, who was in Mary Shelley and Penny Dreadful. And Olwen Fouris, I'm sorry if I've said their name wrong, from Mandy and Fantastic Beasts to The Crimes of Grindelwald. For the film itself, a lot of it, I think you know how when you're watching a film and they're told don't go here and then they go there, and you're like, oh, seriously, you're going to do that? It does a bit of that, but the story, it flows, so it's quite good. And it's definitely a new take on the idea of The Thing. I personally would have liked a little more information on what the creature was and how it got there, things like that. Unfortunately, we don't get that sort of a resolution to it, which is a shame. But all in all, it was a really well thought out film, and it gives you the information you need. Maybe not all the information you want, but definitely everything you need to be able to enjoy the movie. On Rotten Tomatoes, it's actually got an 87% rating. So, gotta be honest, that's a little higher than I would have thought, because for me, this film is definitely just a 5 out of 10. Purely because parts of it are really slow, and I struggle with slow films. I like things where things keep on happening. I'm not happy to have to wait all the time, but I'm an impatient person. I'd say the film is definitely worth a look. I watched it on Sky Cinema, so it's available on Sky Cinema at the moment. If you do get a chance to watch it, I would say if you enjoyed the original Thing, then yes, take a look, because it's definitely in that vein of movie and it gives you that same feeling. It just hasn't got the standout performance that The Thing had. I think that's the one thing. I mean, the acting in it is brilliant and the people play their parts really well and they feel real. But there isn't sort of a shining star. There isn't anyone that really blows you away. The story is meant to do that for you, but while it keeps building up suspense, it then doesn't give you anything. So it's like if you light a firework and it sounds like it's going to be so good while the fuse is going down and then you get a couple of sparks. That's what this was like. So it's not a bad film. It just doesn't have the boom that I like to have in a film. I'd say that if you're really bored one evening, definitely put it on, because it's worth taking a look at once. Me personally, I don't think I'll ever watch it again. It wasn't that sort of film that you'll go back to, but it's worth a watch at least once. I hope you enjoy it. Have a lovely day and enjoy scaring yourself.